June 16th, 2011.
Motion.
Second.
Miliani?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Grenier?
Yes.
Siegel?
Yes. Need a motion to receive and file monthly reports for tax collector, court, CFO, police, and sewer.
Motion. Second.
Are they in the packet, Keith? I don't see them in the packet.
They're not in the packet. I'll make copies of them. You had everybody's. The bill was. No, they don't look like they are.
Wait a minute, here, I have it in mine. You're talking about the vendor listing?
The reports?
Yeah, the reports.
I see the vendor listing, I don't see the reports from the court, please. Everybody submitted them. I thought they were, that's when I made the copies. Okay, you can't approve them, they're not there.
Can you get those to us then? or-
Wait a minute, there's reports in here.
It's the bill list and the vendor report that I just saw. I don't see the police report or the tax, no, the tax collector one I thought I just saw. No, no, that's the bill list. And then the vendor report. You'll have them next month.
Should we hold that maybe later in the meeting?
Yeah, can't we do it?
Well, I'm gonna have to make copies.
Well, I would,
Some of the reports that we really have, so.
I would go, why don't we just do it tonight?
Okay, that's fine.
Later.
Yeah, later
Okay.
tonight.
All right, cancel this motion. Okay.
Hold that in the bank.
Okay.
Need a motion to receive, charge various accounts, and pay monthly bills.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Miliani?
Same.
Williams?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Grenier?
Yes.
Siegel?
Yes. Need a motion to open up for public comment.
Motion.
Second.
Second, Dan?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to make public comment, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address, please.
Angelo and Families, 729 Jackson Road. I just wanted to tell you that last month's meeting is now live. The site is Greenwich livevideo.blogspot.com.
Could you just say that again? Greenwich Live
Video
Video
.blogspot.com.
blogspot.
I'll try to get it in the Gazette and hopefully the paper will put it in. I'll try to get it around town.
All right, thank you.
And I'm going to try to format it a little bit better, but obviously I didn't get the last 15 minutes. Now I have a 4-minute video, so
4 hour.
4 hour
4 hour.
video, so should be able to get it.
All right, good. Thank you. Anyone else wishing to make public comment? Seeing none, need a motion to close?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, Grace, looks like you're up first. You're up first.
What would you like to discuss first?
I think we did Mike a little bit.
Oh, sorry. What would you like to discuss first?
Why don't we talk about the tax extension, the tax date?
Okay. The
And
state
why?
aid number, the state aid statement of state aid that has to be printed on the bills finally came out today. I forwarded over to Sharon when I got it at my other municipality. That means that the county now has them, and we're at their mercy to see how fast they can get the bills, the tax rates certified to the collectors. And as soon as they do that, then Sharon can begin printing, stuffing, and mailing. We hope by the end of next week, the latest, the beginning of the week after. What that means is that from the day Sharon mails them, we have to extend the grace period 25 days from the date of mailing. So they're still technically due August 1st, but the grace period will be till the 25th. Now, if you're delinquent after the 25th, your interest goes back to the 1st of August, which is whether or not they're mailed, you know, tomorrow, next week, or the week after. The grace period ends 25 days after mailing. So that's important. And every municipality in the state is in the same situation that's on a calendar year budget. We're not unique. The counties have said that they will not release one at a time, that they wanna do them all at once. I don't really understand that. I think they should get them out as they certify them, but that's the way they wanna do it, so we'll see how quickly the county can turn them around. Hopefully, the county tax boards are not on vacation, the collectors. You know, usually you're done by now, so a lot of them plan vacations this time of year towards August, because they figure they would have been done with all their hard work, but we'll see what happens. I know Sharon's on top of it, and she keeps calling up there to see what's happening. And she'll let you know as soon as they're ready to go.
Yeah, Sharon's planning to work this weekend to get everything made.
Right, but they're not gonna be here by the weekend, I don't think so.
So we're gonna give you the weekend off, Sharon.
Gee, thanks. Right.
You might wanna mention we're gonna hold up the county tax payment.
Right, the county tax payment that's due August 15th has been extended by the state. We don't have to pay it, because, you know, it's in excess of $750 to $1 million, so we will be making that payment later. We have to have it paid by September 15th, but it's also due by 25 days after the tax bills are mailed. So we're gonna hold off and do that. We've also contacted the school to ask them if they would take their payment a few days later than normal. It's just the nature of the beast, my collection coming in right now. I think the banks will pay us pretty quickly as soon as they get the bills. The big institutions that have the mortgages will be paying us pretty quickly. They normally do. They've been calling her already, where are your bills, where are your bills, so this is normal.
Okay.
I will tell you that I understand from a few collectors that this is the latest they've ever been certified, so
Unique times.
it's a sign of the times.
And
Well, I
all-
mean, it was
all of
based on,
because of
it's
what's
all
been
based,
going on
right.
with the state.
Right, and it's based on the new $150 million in aid that they're giving to the schools. The schools only had 3 days to turn around what they were gonna do with that money, and once they did that, they had to tell the state, then the state will certify to the towns, to the counties, so that's, I mean, it was good, they gave more money back to the schools, but it actually delayed tax bills, so.
So the next item, very good item, so
Right.
you wanna tell us a little bit about that?
Well, do we want to do the resolution?
You wanna do the
Oh,
resolution
yes,
first
please.
on the tax?
Okay. Okay, so, let me just. 2011-67. Okay. So I need a motion for resolution 2011-67, and this is the tax collector resolution for third quarter tax date extension of 25 days.
Motion. Second. Good. Good.
Miliani?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Cardia?
Yes.
Siegel?
Yes. Okay, so now the good news.
Well, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. The good news is that the Township of Greenwich was rated a AA+ rating for their bonds that we issued in the last few weeks. We are proud to announce that because a AA+ rating is the second highest rating you can be. I've been told from Standard & Poor's that there are 5 new municipalities that were rated AAA. They range in size, but they're predominantly located in very, very, very affluent communities. Madison Borough, Mendham, Montville, Woodcliff Lake, and Cranberry Township are the ones that have the new AAA rating. We were AA+, which came right after that. I think the only thing that held us from a AAA rating was the fact that we're so heavily dependent upon residential taxes. We don't have too much industrial. We have a lot of retail, but we don't have a great deal of industrial readables, jobs, things like that. That would have probably put us over the top for a AAA rating, but we should be very, very proud of a AA+ rating. It's phenomenal. And what that did was when we went out for our bonds, it enabled us to get 3 good solid bids for our bonds, and our bid came in at 3.6% for 15 years. That's really wonderful news. We invested $1.265 million in bonds, and they're out there on the market now, our bonds, and we did very well with our issuance. So I'm really happy to report that. That was a big deal. We have our official statement is now bound and looks like this. If anyone would like to see a copy of it, you're welcome to come into Town Hall and see it. A lot of work went into preparing this, and based on this and an interview that I did over the telephone with Standard & Poor's with Mr. Swisher, that was how we ended up with our AA+ rating. It was a good week for us. It was really
And
good.
a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work.
Thank you.
For all of us, Sharon. It's hard work on everybody's part. Thank you.
And Grace, none of this is new debt, right?
None of this is new debt, no. This is all money that we had in bond anticipation notes, which are temporary financing. We've just, this year, gone to the final permanent financing of those bonds. We were not gonna get to, you have to pay off your temporary notes within 10 years. We were not going to reach that point and not see interest rates rise, and my concern, and the bond council's concern, and our auditor's concern was that with the economy the way it is, if the federal government's rating gets dropped and they have an issue, we're gonna see interest rates skyrocket. That would affect us because in temporary finance, we get a new rate every year. So this way, we locked in at 3.6% for the next 15 years, which is really, right now, it's a really good thing, really positive thing for the town. It steadies off our debt payments for the next 15 years. We won't have these big fluctuations because each year you get a new interest rate on 1.2 million. If you get a 7% interest rate, you can see the jump in debt interest payments, and now we'll be leveled off instead. So it was good news. And no new debt. It was all things that had been issued. An old fire truck was financed years ago by notes. We had to do some of that. Some property purchase, some equipment. It was a combination. It's all in the official statement if anybody wants to see it. Again, there's many copies in Kim's office. She has tons of them. So, and that's that. Next, there's something else besides the audit that I wanted to go over with you. Just slipped my mind. I was thinking about it with Mike was talking. Well, next we can go straight to the audit if you like.
Okay, please.
You've all got a copy of the 2010 annual audit report as prepared by Suppley Flooney. Also, you've been given a copy of the recommendations and corrective action plan. As a requirement, the state requires us to file the corrective action plan with the audit report. So this is what we're going to do to correct the recommendations we have. We had 13 recommendations, which is exactly half of what we had 2 years ago when I came here. I'm not proud of 13 recommendations. I don't want to see them repeated. I will tell you that a couple of them were new ones that were kind of, they're already fixed. The one specifically was the automation of the tax system. There is no longer a manual record. We don't use a book anymore. We're not using pen and pencil to enter our tax entries. Everything's done by Mrs. Brown on the computer system. She does a terrific job for us. We no longer have to reconcile that system to a hand book system. So that recommendation is gone. If you like, we can go through all of them, or we can, you have the plan. I don't know how you want to do this.
What's the committee, you want to go through each item?
I don't think it hurts to go through.
Okay, sure. What I'll do is I'll read the recommendation and then what we're going to try to do to correct them. The first one is that all activity from planning board escrow deposits be reported in the general ledger. This was a repeat of last year because we were still working on getting all of our trust funds onto the general ledger system. Escrow accounts is the last leg of this entire thing, and it should be done by the end of this year. Last year we added general trust as one of the things that we added to the general ledger. The very last one is the escrows. The reason it is the last is there are over 100 escrow accounts that have to be entered, and it's just extremely time consuming, and the reconciliation is difficult, but it will be done by the end of this year. The second one is that all vouchers presented for payment be recorded prior to the receipt of goods or services. Unfortunately, this one I'm a little disappointed in. We implemented the requisition system. Some of our department heads and employees are very good at using it and doing it the right way. For instance, the police department is very good about not ordering anything until it's put through the system. You know, it's expected that utility bills and, you know, phone bills, electric bills won't go through the system first. You have to get them before you can pay, you know what they are. But things like kind of ordering garbage cans for a department, that should go through a requisition system. You just don't have the authority